call, every move, every hit, every check. If you want the truth, opinions, and fire, welcome to the winner circle.
Good morning and welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. It is another wonderful Saturday morning. We are here for Winner's Circle. I know we've been a little back and forth between Saturday mornings and Sunday nights, but we are here again Saturday morning. It is April 11th. It is bright and early, 7 a.m. over here on the, 7:10 now, roughly over here on the West Coast, 10:10 over there on the East Coast where Miss Anika is out there in Florida. We are going to talk all things Dynamite. I mean, all things AEW. I apologize.
Yeah.
I'm having a little off this morning. But we're going to talk Collision and Dynamite from last Thursday and Wednesday. Collision was on Thursday. I think it's because they had, if I'm not mistaken, they had the Final Four on Saturday and Sunday. The NCAA Final Four on Saturday and Sunday. So Tony didn't want to compete with that. A little housekeeping before we start everything. If you're new to the Workhorse Wrestling Network, hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Hit the bell on this video. That helps a lot. Hit the like button on this video. That helps a lot. Hit that bell. That way you get notified every time we put something on the YouTube channel. If you're with us on Twitch, thank you very much for following from over there or watching over there. Give us a follow. I think that's basically the quick, easy housekeeping stuff. Oh, if you're here with us, please chime in the chat. Let us know anything you want to say about Collision or Dynamite or Dynasty coming up tomorrow. There is Collision live tonight as well. Or I don't know if it's live, but there's a Collision show tonight and Dynasty tomorrow night. So there's a lot to talk about. If you want to talk about anything else in the world of professional wrestling, even though this is an AEW show, if you want to ask a WWE question, Miss Anika will be happy to address your WWE concerns and or topics and or anything.
You went mute on me. I can't hear you anymore. Oh, yep, somehow I can't hear you. There you go.
Okay. All right. How are you doing?
I'm fine, all things considered. They don't tell you when you hit 30, oh, this stuff starts falling apart.
Wait till you
But
get to almost 50. I'll be 50 this year. So wait till you get to almost 50. Then things are really falling apart. I'm leaking a lot of oil. So
it's just like, dang, on it. Okay, health insurance.
ain't that the truth? All right. No, I didn't want to do that. All right. So let's see. Let's just get on into it. It was AEW Collision from April 2nd. It was on Thursday night, right after the Dynamite before, in which Will Ospreay made, I think, his official. Maybe it wasn't his official. A big match, which is building up to now. He gets Moxley at Dynamite tomorrow night. So on the heels of that Dynamite, we had Collision the very next night. It did kick off with the aforementioned John Moxley in the title eliminator match, defending, well, yes, an AEW Continental Championship eliminator match, of which he is the champion, against
Yeah.
Anthony Bowens, who I was kind of surprised. I mean, when I first saw this match was happening, I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." I mean, I feel like we hadn't seen Bowens or Casper in a minute now. For a while, they, obviously they were big as the Acclaim, for a while, tag team partners,
Yeah.
champions, all those things, right? And then they had the falling out, and we've been dealing with that kind of fallout story, and then them going back and forth. Max doing his, best wrestler in the planet, and Bowen doing his pride of professional wrestling stuff, and then they were fighting, and then they were forced to kind of coexist, and then it feels like they disappeared for a minute. So I was kind of interested to see him back doing this, and I thought this match was very good. I'm not always the biggest fan of eliminators. I think it's a lot to have to ask somebody to beat the champ twice, but I guess if you beat
Yeah.
twice, you deserve the title. So I guess that's kind of the thought process behind it. Never disappointed with Moxley's wrestling. Both these guys are solid wrestlers. I thought the match came off really well. I thought Bowens and uh, Moxley had good chemistry. Moxley did get the win ultimately, but it was close. I thought Bowens was going to get the win a couple times, and yeah, I enjoyed it. What did you think of this opening match for Collision between Moxley and Anthony Bowens?
No, totally in agreement with you. Like the whole reunion of the Acclaim has been weird, or is it really is like, hold on, I thought we were striving for something. We gonna stop doing it. We gonna stop. All right, you know what? Fine, it's cool. So yeah, when Anthony Bowens came out, I'm like, oh, really nice. And Anthony Bowens, no matter what, is a great wrestler. So like in that ring, you're definitely going to get something. What's it called? You're definitely going to get a good match, no matter what. Um, like you said, this was a very good match. Did not think Anthony was going to win. Unfortunately, it's just it is what it is. But he did get to show out, show up and show out. So I was very happy about that. So oh no, it was a a nice opener to Collision. Definitely that.
Yeah, and I feel like if you want to make a champion feel bigger and you want to make the eliminator matches seem more important, then the eliminator matches people should be winning those and then losing the title matches. I don't
Yeah.
know how you reconcile that, but let them win the eliminator and then lose the actual title match. It makes it makes the contender look better. I don't know. Just my
Or
personal
at least
preference. But yeah, I
once.
enjoyed it all.
Like
Right.
it's like it's
But
been a minute since someone actually won this thing. Yeah.
yeah, I agree with that. Let's see. So right after the end of the match, or at the end of the match, Osprey comes out because Osprey is hunting John Moxley. So he attacks Moxley. Um, he goes out and gets the steel chair, but he's preparing. But as he's about to take Moxley out, here comes the Death Riders for the save. Osprey gets the microphone and basically said that this isn't personal. He said, "What do you mean this isn't personal? It is personal. You took me out. Blah blah blah. I'll see you at Dynasty." Um, what did he say? He said, "I get you for 20 minutes, and I'm going to kick your ass for 20 minutes. Put the title on the line." He basically says he wants to. He challenges him to put the title on the line. They were going to have the match at Dynamite, but I guess the title wasn't on the line, so he wants to put the line. He wants him to put the title on the line. What do you think of this little post match stuff with Mr. Osprey?
Uh, it was good. I actually didn't like Moxley leaving. That was kind of like I get you're the big bad Moxley, but you're leaving while he's talking is still like, come on, bruh. And so like, and putting the title on the line, um, not sure it was needed. I don't know. Um, like no matter what, it's Osprey versus Moxley, right? So it's like, do we really need the extra fluff and circumstance? I don't think so. That's just me. Um, so it was cool, but it wasn't like anything like, oh shoot, yeah, yeah. I'm like, okay, it's fine. That's just like it's crazy, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, I'm torn because I what was I gonna say? Oh, you're right. Neither of these two men or a match with these two men, but Moxley versus Osprey doesn't need a title to get it all to make it any bigger than it is. They're two of the best on the planet at the moment. Um, but I do think it would be weird for one of them to have a title and have a huge match at a pay-per-view like this and the title not be on the line. So it does make sense. And the reality is that whatever title it's been, Moxley's basically had some sort of title in some way, shape, or form around his belt for a long time now. Whether it's a W World Championship, whether it's this Continental Championship, whether it was a Trio Championship that they had for a while, whether it was whatever it was, right? So he's been champion in some way, shape, or form for a long time. And Will Ospreay needs a belt and a decent run with a belt, I think. So I'm here for this, and I think that Ospreay probably gets the win at Dynamite and is the new Continental Champion, which I'm here for. So
I guess more so what I'm saying is the announcement of it being a match should have been sooner. Why are we saying this now? Down there a week before like this should have been when the match got approved. It's like what
Yeah.
are we
No,
oh
I
oh
agree.
now we think of the title. Okay.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, it should have just been for the title to begin with. At the same time, I kind of get, if you're Moxley, it's like, yeah, Osprey, I'll wrestle you, but I'm not putting the title on the line. And then, Osprey's like, well, yeah, tries to convince him. So I can see how that can work as well, but it is what it is. Let's see. The Don Callis family. Kyle Fletcher got injured, and they're now fighting for Kyle Fletcher. We'll find out on. I mean, I guess we can kind of uh, uh, let the cat out of the bag. The spoiler is on Dynamite. He has to vacate the title. So Kyle Fletcher is out for a while. The result of him vacating the title will be a gauntlet. I don't know, battle royal, whatever the fuck they call it, gauntlet match at
Hit.
Dynasty for a new TNT champion. Should be interesting.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that when we talk about Dynamite as well, because there was some stuff that happened in Dynamite relating to that. But the Don Callis family is here. They're going to fight for Kyle Fletcher. Yeah, unlike Takeshita, Okada's best friend is Kyle Fletcher, and Okada and Mark Davis and Andrade are going to take out. Geez, who is it that they wrestled in the main event? I'm drawing a blank now on the 6-man match, the final 6-man match. But let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. Andrade El Idolo, Don Callis family is going to take out the Rascals tonight. For Kyle Fletcher. Anything you want to say about the Don Callis family and Kyle Fletcher?
I hate Don Callis. I hate him so much. Where is it because the stuff that comes from your brain? Why is it there in the first place? Come on, we're fighting for Kyle Fletcher like he has a terminal illness. Sir, he got torn meniscus. Is it? So like Kyle's strong. I'm like, please shut up. Please shut up. Thank you. Thank you. I feel this. It really does suffer Kyle Fletcher. I'm like I saw the match. I believe it was a tag team match with Mark Davis. Everything was cool. The match went off. He walked to the back. So I was like, what happened? And like, even though we're only in April, uh, Kyle Fletcher was definitely on the run to be the wrestler of the year because all of his matches have been so great. And a report said that he might come back before the end of the year, which is great. But it really does like that is definitely a main character that will be missed. So that sucks. But yeah, Don Callis is dumb.
Yeah, now he put a lot on this, being heavily over dramatic. Yeah, like you said, like Kyle Fletcher's dying or something. But yes, it does
No.
suck for Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher's had an amazing, 2 years or year and a half, whatever it is, since Mark Davis went out and he became a singles wrestler 2 to 3 years ago
Yeah.
now. He's had basically, a tremendous run and very successful in that time. So it's definitely sad for him to see, or it's definitely sad to see him on the shelf. I always like Kyle Fletcher. I like watching him. I think he's, probably one of the big bright spots for the future of AEW. I mean, they could keep him in all those things. So hopefully he comes back, and all is well sooner than later.
Please
Um,
and thank you.
Again, we're back. We're kind of, and I understand, like, we're back to Collision's crisis of identity crisis. Like, we're
Mm.
back to Collision now being kind of booked like the B show again with, a squash match here between the AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions, Divine Dominion, Megan Bain, and Lena Cross versus Kristara and Ava Lawless. You know, no disrespect to Kristara and Ava Lawless or any independent wrestlers that come in and get a chance when, AEW gets local or comes to their town or whatever. But the reality is when you see especially a team like the World Tag Team Champions wrestling two people that you've never ever heard of, you can almost guarantee 1000% that it's a victory for the
Mhm.
people that you know. And this was no different. Unfortunately, this was a squash match in which Divine Dominion squashed out these two women. I'm not even. I'm trying to think. I mean, they had, I guess, a couple offensive moves, but nothing that was, worthy of talking about. So, again, I mean, I understand that you can't. Not every single match on every single show you put on can always be a big match, but if you want your shows to feel the same, I mean, I guess they do feel the same because they put squash matches on Dynamite as well. So I guess it is what it is. But it
Mhm.
feels like there was a minute there where Collision has, or there's a few episodes where Collision didn't have squash matches and had what I thought was, really, really solid episodes. And not that this was a bad episode, but I'm just not a fan of squash matches. I just don't, that's why I liked Dark and Elevation because that's where you were able to give these young independent people that either when you're in their town or that want to try to make it on AEW an opportunity to prove themselves. Unfortunately, on Dynamite in the middle of a show, I don't necessarily want to see that, and or I'm sorry, on Collision, and definitely not on Dynamite. So, needless to say, Divine Dominion did squash out Kristara and Ava Lawless and retained their championships. What do you think?
Ditto. Ditto to everything you just said. I get squash matches, but doing them every week kind of loses its luster. Or just like, all right, here comes the collision squash match. We're just like, top the day.
And the hyperbole. The announcers are like, Divine Dominion is the most dominating AEW women's tag team in history. There's only been two. There's only been two tag team champions in the history of those belts. I mean,
Yeah,
and they've only had one decent match or two decent matches against Harley Cameron
yeah,
and Willow. Like you can't. They've had two squash matches the last 2 weeks, and they've defended it twice again. Or they won it once to win the titles and defended it once against Willow and Harley. Like how can you say this? I mean, that just it's just like it's like come on, man. Okay, whatever. So yeah, the whole thing was
no,
odd to me, but
yeah, totally. And more so with Megan Bain. She's had too many squash matches, and I get it. She's the Amazon. She's the powerhouse. But at some point in time, you're gonna have to, like you said, can we spread out the squash matches? The the legend of Bill Goldberg, jackhammer, spear, jackhammer, repeat has been long gone. Like you really can't regenerate that anymore, especially on a weekly basis. So it's like, yeah, like at least once a month a squash match, and then everything else is a good match. It's like you gotta balance this out just a little bit. Like you said, for squash match, predictable, fine. We need more women on it. We need more women on this roster. that's
we
the
do.
that's the main thing.
We definitely do. We definitely do. Let's see. John Moxley responds to Will Ospreay. He says he's not surprised by Will's behavior lately. However, he is surprised that he challenged him for the Continental Championship because it's like Will said in that situation, it's just two of them. They go down a dark alley and only one of them comes out. Uh, he said you wouldn't go into this match short of 100%, would you? Unless Osprey thinks he's 100%, he wouldn't want to do this. Or he thinks Moxley's not 100%. That's a hell of a bluff. Yeah, I mean, Mox says he's all about letting delusional people find out whatever they need to do in due time. And with the championship on the line, expect no mercy. So, what do you think of Mox's response? Essentially, he basically said, "Yes, I'll put the title on the line and prepare to get your ass kicked."
Classic Moxley. Like there's no like no surprise there. You really thought Moxley was gonna say no? Don't really think so. Um, all of the oohs and ahs and the mus and the smoking mirrors behind what he says. Yeah, classic Moxley promo. And we'll see what happens. I don't like I said, this was such a toss in the river of put the title on the line. I don't think Osprey's winning. which is crazy. It's just like, what are we doing here? But I don't like, but it's just a drop in the bucket. I don't think he's gonna beat Moxley, which is so crazy to say. But I think that's what's got to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling Osprey's winning, but I guess we'll see. We'll
We'll see.
see. We will know after Sunday night's Dynasty.
Hmm.
Um, we have the Hurt Syndicate is back. They've been gone for a minute, or at least it feels like I haven't seen them for a short minute
Oh, it's
here.
been a minute.
Um,
It's definitely
and
been a
they're
minute.
back. All three men are back. MVP says don't adjust your TV sets. They are in fact here. And the Almighty has returned. He is cleared and ready to rock. Let's see. They want to add some new talent and bring some new people into their ranks. They do what they're going to do what they do better than anybody else and hurt people. So I mean, I think it's good for AEW that at minimum Bobby Lashley's back. I'm a big MVP fan. I mean, I like the Hurt Syndicate. I think they're solid as a faction for AEW. I do agree that if you want to play in the faction swimming pool in AEW, between the Death Riders and Don Callis, you probably need more than two guys that can get it done on a regular basis. And MVP is not wrestling on a regular basis. So, I mean, he can step in every once in a while, but you need some other people, right? If you want to start to. So, yeah, I can see that. It'll be interesting to see who they recruit. Obviously, numerous people have come to them over the time that they've been around MJF, Ricochet, and said, what's up? And they basically said, no, fuck you. So we'll see what they do here and who they decide to bring in. I'm trying to think of, I mean, there are people on the roster I think that would be a good fit, but I'm curious to see who Tony thinks is going to be a decent fit for the Herd Syndicate. So I'm here for this. I mean, again, I've never been like the biggest Bobby Lashley fan, but I'm a huge Shelton Benjamin fan. So anytime he's back in wrestling, I'm always happy with that. And I do think that Bobby Lashley is a solid wrestler, and I think that he's got a bright future still. I mean, he's a little, he's older, let's put it that way. So maybe, his best days in his prime are a little behind him, but he's still got a lot in the tank, and I think he can still have a decent run as AEW champion at some point. And I think that's where the sweet spot is for Bobby Lashley. So I'm here for all this, and I'm curious to see who they're going to try to recruit. Any ideas? Who do you think might be on their radar? Or who do you think Tony thinks might work well with them?
I think this is a good storyline for tension with other. I think it would be tension with other groups. Like you said, everyone that I'm thinking of is already in a group. Like Ricochet is already with Gates of Agony. Um, the Rascals more so. Like, I'm trying not to say his NXT name, but the man that's
Wesley?
um yeah Wesley. I'm like that yeah he's not Wesley anymore, but like yeah Wesley, but he's in
Oh
the
yeah,
Rascals.
Desmond Xavier. Desmond Xavier. Yeah.
Desmond Xavier or his other teammate. Like everyone's already in a team, so it's like who. So I think it's more so going to be like who they're trying to recruit, but come off short of successful. I think they're probably going to do the Rascals first, and that's going to happen. Ooh, doing it later, but that could work. Um, Private Party could be a
Yeah.
nice little asset, especially now things considered. Like, why is everybody getting hurt?
Yeah. No. I mean,
Jeez.
I mean, the standard trope, unfortunately, in wrestling and AEW is guilty of this too. I mean, they're with the bigger factions, like with the Death Riders and with the Don Callis family. Maybe it's not quite as big a deal, but wrestling bookers love to put people of the same race together. So I get the I always lean towards that when I look at the roster of like things, and it feels like there's a couple teams out there that may be positioned to be, assuming that they like to put people together like that. There's Private Party that could potentially join them. I mean, I suppose the Hurt Syndicate, and even though they're in their own group and doing their own thing, I mean, with the history they've had, I don't see it really happening. But I suppose that if you find some way, you think you've got some creative way to work it out, I suppose the demand and the Hurt Syndicate could come together. But the problem is that the Hurt Syndicate's never going to let the demand be, the bigger dog. And I don't think Ricochet and the Gates of Agony are just going to let themselves be absorbed into the Hurt Syndicate. So yeah, I mean, as well as the Rascals aren't going to do it either. They're not going to want to lose their autonomy. So yeah, like you said, there'll probably be
Yeah.
several opportunities, or they'll make several recruiting pitches and probably be denied. But they'll get somebody. I could see a Private Party, or even like, I mean, obviously they're good guys, but a Top Flight maybe could be convinced, because their career has been, you know, whatever it is, plateaued on the down decline.
Hmm.
You join us, we can hype you up. You'll be part of the Hurt Syndicate. You'll get all the whatever. But again, they're good guys, so who knows? But yeah, I mean, there's some people out there. I would have, for me, and again, only because of the way they book stuff, Hobbs would have been a really good fit had he still been here. I think Hobbs would have been a decent
Hmm.
fit for them, those kind of things. But yeah, I'm interested to see who they bring in. Our TBS Women's Champion, Miss Willow, on Dynamite the night before, basically issued an open challenge for Collision. And that open challenge was answered by a woman who we haven't seen in the AEW ring in over 500 days. Former two-time AEW Women's World Champion, Hikaru Shida, is back and accepting the open challenge against Willow Nightingale. I was extremely excited. I mean, I've never been what I would call like the biggest Sheeta fan, but because I think the women's division is down a little bit at the moment and I want more for Willow, I'm very happy to see Sheeta back. She feels like one of those kind of like, I don't want to say AEW originals, but that's kind of what it feels like. Like when the women's
Yeah.
division was at its peak, she was highly involved, right? So it feels like there's kind of this coming back, maybe bringing back, some other people that were here when the division was a little bit better. So I'm happy to see Sheeta back. I'm glad that Willow did get the win. We haven't seen Sheeta in a while, so her to come in and immediately get a win and win a belt would be a little much. And I'm happy to
Crazy.
see. I mean, not that she doesn't, not that it wouldn't work. I mean, we know who she is. We know how good she is, but it just, without seeing her for a while, it'd be a little whatever. And Willow needs some good wins with this belt to make this run solid. And this is a good win for her. So I was happy all the way around about this. I hope Sheeta's here to stay, is back, for good, or at least for a while. So yeah, I thought all this was very good. And I'm glad Willow got the win and is still our TBS champion. What do you think about this?
I was very surprised and happy to see Sheeta back. I don't know, like I need someone to tell me what happened. And when I say what happened, it feels like most of the girls that were in the Panorama era are not here anymore. And it's like, what? I know injuries, visas. We're like, come on, guys, visas for almost 2 years. Like it feels like somebody in HR needs to be needs to be hired, or someone dropped the ball. Like because when um, what's her name? Sorry, Thunder Rosa, when she came back, she made it very clear. I was not injured, so they just didn't call me. It's just like, mm, interesting. And it's just like, and they're like, why do you not think we don't need girls? We just when we've been not recycling, but it does feel like the same girls are fighting each other for a considerable amount of time. So it was definitely great to see Sheeta back. It was a very great match. Even like I did not think Sheeta was gonna win because it feels like we're even though Willow won the belt off of Mercedes last December, it does feel like this is the first time we're actually focusing on Willow being TBS champion. So I didn't think she was gonna beat Willow just yet, but it was a very very great match. Um, I guess we're doing more with Sheeta because the whole ending where she looked like she was about to hit her with a kendo stick, but she didn't, and the little confliction of thoughts. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm all here for using Sheeta in any capacity in any way. This was a very good way to do it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was a little I really, really love Willow, and I think that she's a very solid wrestler. I There are times where I feel still like when she's in the ring with some people that are, I don't want to say, I'm going to come out and say, I guess still a little bit better than her. I know she's still kind of learning, right? There were moments where I felt like she looked a little overmatched against Sheeta, where it almost felt like Sheeta was, I don't know. It's hard to say, but it felt like she was. There were moments where I thought to myself, it still is like Sheeta's still clearly the better wrestler. Like where I felt like Willow, it still looks like still just needs a little more time to just let it all work out. I don't know. Did you get any feeling of that at all?
I wouldn't say that. I think more so it was a case of getting to know these two in the ring. Whereas more so, like
Yeah.
I don't think Willow has ever faced Sheeta. So I think it was more so of locking up and finding each other's rhythm more than anything. Only a few can be like, once in a lifetime, and it go off without a hitch. That's low key why I think MJF be having his matches on Dynamite and not on pay per views. He's like, listen. What we're not going think about it, he's like, what we're not gonna do is have the first match of review and it sucks. Nah, we're gonna have it on Dynamite and then we're gonna have the rematch at pay per view. So I know that I can handle it. So I think it was just more so that than anything, but it was still a good match. But I definitely see the whole like trying to fill each other out situation.
Um, let's see. Yeah, no, and I'm interested to see what they do with Sheeta. Yeah, the whole kendo stick, kind of hinting like she was going to hit Willow and then deciding not to. So we'll see what ends up happening. We had another squash match. Surprisingly, both the AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions and the AEW Men's World Tag Team Champions had squash matches on this episode of Collision. FTR came in and squashed out Mo Jabai and London Lightning. All right. So that's all you need to know. Uh the most important thing about this is that really it was a vehicle for Christian and Copeland to come out once FTR had basically squashed these two and attack them. So Christian ended up getting his arm. I don't know what they're going to say. I don't know how hurt his arm is going to be, but it was in a chair. And Cash, or was it Dax or Cash?
No. That was Dynamite, Collision.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. My bad.
Yeah, Collision. Yeah.
That's right. Let's see. Christian's music hit. He came to the top of the ramp with the chair. Copeland's music hit. They joined. Oh, they took out the security guards with the chairs. Is that right? That's the one they went.
Concerto.
That's right. They
Yeah.
went to do the concerto, and then it got broken up. And then oh yeah, that's right. This is funny because they broke up the concerto, and FTR made their way out of the ring. And then for some reason, two lone security guards decided to jump in the ring and attack Cope and Christian. Like, what is going on here? Cope and Kate. So they end up beating them up, and then they concerto one of the security guards and basically look at Dax and Cash like that's what you got coming. I totally don't understand why those two security guards, after everything had separated, those two guys decided to get in the ring and try to do something. I guess it's because we needed someone to take a concerto, and that's how they did it. But it's just like, why didn't you just go out and just grab one of the guys that you had smashed in the stomach off the ground and drag him in and give him a concerto? Like, it seemed really weird to me to have those two security guys come in and do that. What do you think about the squash and then the post match stuff?
Squash is a squash. It is what it, like you said. It's just a vehicle for the what's to come afterwards. Very hilarious how they be setting this up. They Christian and Copeland said that we're going to get rid of anyone who's in our way. Uh, Again, like you said, there could have been a way to have security. Like I don't know, but yeah, you said to get back into the ring. It's like, oh, you're in our way, and then concerto. Yeah, that was a little bit of a sloppy setup, but nonetheless, we get a concerto. So now, there it is. But I totally agree with you. Like, situation's over. Why is y'all back in here? See, that's what happened. That was you get for being overzealous. Now you get your hot. Now you get your brain blocked between two chairs. That's your fault. Like, don't ask what or cop or nothing. You should just take them out outside the ring.
when I first came in and attacked them, I thought maybe they were going to be like two security guards that were going to be like they were trying to make like I don't know, like they were going to be someone else besides security guards or security
Yeah,
guards that want to be wrestlers and were trying to make a name for them. Like I thought there was something else going on for a second because you never see security come back in and attack guys like that, right? So I was like, what is going on
yeah.
here? I thought maybe these were two new guys that FTR had recruited from somewhere or something. So the whole thing was weird, but nonetheless is what it is. Yeah, I mean, and I'm here obviously for the continued, Dax and Cash, FTR versus Cage and Copeland. So let's see. Jamie Hayter is backstage with Mina Shirakawa and Alex Windsor, the Brawling Birds, and they've all got something to say about Jamie Hayter. And, well, they've all got something to say about the Triangle of Madness, and essentially Jamie Hayter wants Tekla at Dynasty for that AEW Women's World Championship belt. They all said a couple things. They're the Brawling Birds because they love to brawl. Shirakawa at the very end. It looked like so. Jamie Hayter said, "I want Tekla at Dynamite or Dynasty," and then Mina like kind of grabbed her arm and like spun her towards her and like looked at her all serious. And I thought she was gonna say, "I get her first," but that's not what happened. She said, "Beat the piss out of her. No, don't just beat her, beat the piss out of her." So, all right, what do you think about this?
I like it. I definitely like you said, just like I believe like at some point in time, I'm not saying they're friends, but I think at some point in time you gotta realize when you're behind kid. I think Mina is was like, you know what? You got the big dog, you got this, you
Yeah,
can get the first punch. How about that?
yeah.
So I definitely like that part. It makes sense for sorry, excuse me. It makes sense for it to be Tekla versus Jamie Hayter because they've had such a long history. Like when Tekla first arrived, technically Hayter was her first rivalry. I hope they do a whole video package on it because yeah, doing it on Collision, I'm like, oh, boo, I want to like for this to be a championship match for women. I needed more. I definitely needed more hype to this than just what happened. But it is what it is. I'm going to get Hayter on Collision. So for all that, okay, cool.
We get a match between the Psycho Killer Tommaso Ciampa and
Psycho Killer.
Juice Robinson of the Bang Bang Gang, of which there's currently only two people. Uh, Juice Robinson and Ace Austin, it appears. Yeah, I mean, this was very solid. I mean, both guys can really wrestle. I'm always happy when I see Juice wrestle. I'm always happy when I see Tommaso Ciampa wrestle. These are the kind of matches I love. I think both guys are amazing. I think both guys, especially Juice Robinson, deserves probably more than he's gotten. I feel like Ciampa's gotten a lot, but Juice deserves a little bit more. I don't know exactly what that looks like, but I think he deserves a little bit more. And I, unfortunately for him, I think they're just kind of treading water until I guess Jay White comes back at some point. I mean, I don't even
Yeah.
know. And when Colton comes back, and we've got the whole, I guess, five men, I suppose now with Ace Austin. So yeah, I mean, I thought this was an extremely solid match. Tommaso Ciampa does get the win with the knee, the psycho knee, or actually it took two psycho knees to get the victory. In what I think was probably the best match of the night, in my opinion, for this episode of Collision. So I enjoyed all this. What do you think about this?
Jules by himself is a great wrestler. So like we can definitely just cut that to the chase. Where it's like we get you get blinded by the personality and the hair and everything, but no, in the ring, Juice is really great. So this was a definitely a great match. And Tommaso Ciampa, like point blank period. It's like come on, what are we doing? So I definitely love that they actually gave Juice Robinson this time to shine. I definitely love that Tommaso Ciampa is still on a winning streak. I love that for him. Um, and yeah, I don't know what we're doing in the Big Man game. Like it really does feel like we might have to give up the ghost with this. It's like I don't like. There's no timeline on if Jay White's coming back at all, or if so. It's like I don't think being in a holding parent pattern is a good thing at all. So it's like we got to make a decision. We got either like break them up or go for something. Do some. We got to do something here. But Juice Robinson by himself, I am here for. I'm here for that. And that's
Yeah,
what they want to do. So with that, this was a great match, and hopefully we'll see more from Tommaso. I'll say that.
yeah. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what a dissolution of Bang Bang Gang looks like. I mean, if Colton comes back, Austin and Colton, obviously they've been tag team champions before. They have great chemistry, being brothers and those kind of things. They'll fit right into the tag team division once they're back. I worry about the other three. Well, I worry about Juice and Ace Austin, just where they fit in as singles guys. I mean, they're both very solid,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
they both have the ability to be champions of one of these titles at some point. I just don't know that that's how they'll get booked. And I do worry about, if Jay White doesn't come back and you don't have the Bang Bang Gang, you don't necessarily have where these guys end up ultimately, right? They just kind of end up doing odd matches here and there on Collision with no real, what I would call direction, right? So,
yeah,
um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm a little nervous for that because I think both Ace Austin and Juice Robinson are extremely talented and have the ability to do really good stuff in AEW. So, yeah, I don't know, but and obviously I want Jay White back. I mean, we had him for only a very little
yeah,
time, and I want Jay White back. So, yeah, but
yeah,
you're right. I mean, it's hard to continue to just put out one or two guys and be like, "We're the Bang Bang Gang." It doesn't really quite work like that
yeah.
anymore. So, yeah. So I guess we'll end up seeing what happens. Uh, Isaiah Cassidy is ready to swim with the sharks. Isaiah Cassidy is backstage, and he says every time they talk about Private Party, they talk about change, change, change. And this time, let's see, let's see, what did he say? He said those. The Death Riders took out Mark Quinn. Isaiah doesn't know when he'll be back, um, but he's not going to back down. Mock said it's time for Isaiah to swim with the sharks, right? Well, what Moxley doesn't know is that Zay has been drowning his whole life. He's learned to breathe down there, and he's going to eat because he's starving for an opportunity. I think this was okay. I mean, I like Isaiah Cassidy, and I thought this was a good promo. It came off fine. He sounded good. It had all the proper energy, all those great things, I've been here for Private Party and Isaiah Cassidy and all the different little iterations they've had. I just don't know that this is going to get over any more than any other thing they've done. I mean, they put him with other people. They put him with Matt Hardy to try to give him a boost. They put him with other guys and in feuds to try to give him a boost, both Private Party and him individually. And it just, for whatever reason, I don't know if Tony doesn't, I don't know why, but there's some sort of disconnect. Again, one of these guys that seems to be super talented, but just doesn't have a definitive spot. So fine. I just don't know that I think this leads to anything. But the promo itself was fine. What do you think?
No, definitely agree with everything. Unfortunately, yeah, Mark Quinn got hurt, which again, it just sucks because they just got back here. So it really is like, dang, on it, man. Like, what do you gotta do to stay healthy? And I actually thought they had a good comeback. Like that they had momentum to come back and actually do something this time around. Uh Definitely agree with you again. Like I'm not sure what we can do to hype up Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn. Right now Isaiah Cassidy because Mark Quinn got hurt. But it is like what exactly are you not seeing with Private Party that you think they can't be champions? But as of right now, like I said, just right, yeah, focus on Isaiah Cassidy. I like you said, we'll see what happens. Him declaring himself for the world heavyweight championship is a bit of a stretch. I was like, yo, so you just drop kick yourself down in the deep end. Huh? Like, we can't TBS championship. You don't want to go for that. We don't want to go for the the cruiserweight, the continental champion. Like any of these, we could have gone for, but we don't go for none of these. All right, I got cool. So we'll see how that works. In my mind, it's probably just a match, and he just needs the time to shine. Which I'm all here for. But like I said, I'm here to see what happens. I'm definitely here to see what happens.
Thinking about it in the context of this collision because it happened on Dynamite afterwards is a little off. But for me, like after watching Dynamite and realizing Kyle had to vacate and they're doing the Casino Gauntlet match for that title, and then thinking about Cassidy's promo from this episode of Collision a few days prior, a week prior, roughly, I'm thinking Cassidy. This would have been instead of the world title. This would have been a perfect shot for him to say, I'm going after the TNT title. I mean, we didn't know we were doing the gauntlet
Yeah.
yet, but like the gauntlet would be a perfect spot for Isaiah Cassidy at this point. That gauntlet match would be a good spot for him to try to, rekindle his singles stuff. Like it seems like a good spot for him. So we'll see if he's in that. But I mean, I don't at this point. It doesn't appear that way. But I was thinking that would have made sense. I mean, obviously you can't do one before the other, but that would seem like a good spot for him. That's more to me like kind of in his wheelhouse than the AEW World
Or just starting off there. Let's start off there at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Darby Allin is backstage and he says he has to beat Andrade so that he can get a title shot against MJF. I'm still not, I understand that MJF has all these little things in the works and I still don't understand why Darby has to beat Andrade of the Don Callis family to get a shot at MJF, who's not a member of the Don. Okay, it's fine. It is what it is.
Like,
But that's got to happen. He talks about how Omega, let's see, Kenny Omega, that he would honor the stipulation. Oh, that if Omega beat MJF, Darby Allin would get a shot at the title still. If Allin can beat Andrade, entered Brody King and Jack Gary, who both have major issues, long time major issues with Darby Allin. Brody King says he hates him. He's always hated him. Can't, blah, blah, blah. We've been around and around. And Jack says, he lit me on fire. He lit me on fire. He lit me on fire. He said it like 4 times. That's all Jack Perry said. Which that was kind of funny. I thought that was kind of funny. But the ultimate thing is that Brody King said, despite all of our history, we are all on the same side against the Death Riders, and we're not going to. You helped me. You came out and helped me when I didn't expect it, so we've got your back. What do you think about this?
it was cool. I definitely approve of Jack Perry of we have differences. He lit me on fire. Like differences are. I like ketchup, and you think ranch is the best sauce ever. You lit me on fire. Let me very clear about our differences. One of these, I was unalive me. So yeah, there's differences. So that was hilarious. Um, Brody King and Darby being a team for a minute, I'm all here for that because their brand of brutality in literally different shapes and forms could be very much so fun. So I'm actually here for this. However it's gonna come out to be. I agree with you about the whole needing to beat someone to get a towel shot. I'm like, I think if I'm not mistaken, I believe Don Callis hooked it up with if he beats Andrade, he gets a towel match. Not sure how that doesn't equate to Andrade wins, he gets a towel match, but it is what I guess it is what it is. Whatever. You're like, hold on, wait, how does Darby get the match, but your boy Andrade don't? I, I'm just saying, but yeah. So we'll we'll see how this unfolds.
Next, we had a match between the Don Callis family and the Rascals, Andrade and Mark Davis versus Desmond Xavier and Zachary Wentz. Um, a very solid match. Andrade and Mark Davis did ultimately get the win. Um, and the match itself was fine. I mean, I thought the match itself was really good. I'm not totally sure. I mean, I understand it's a Don Callis family. I understand it's Andrade. I get that Mark Davis is back, recently back. I'm still not sure why. I mean, Andrade is Andrade, and I know that they're trying to position him as being a big deal, so that's fine. But Mark Davis is
Yeah.
what he is, right? I guess I'm a little confused why the Rascals lose here. I mean, just in general, like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the Don Callis family getting the win in any situation because they are the Don Callis family. It just feels like the Rascals in a tag team match between two guys like Andrade and Mark Davis that don't have any experience tagging together against a team that tags together all the time. This is what they do. Like, it just seems like it's a bit of a stretch for me. But again, it is what it is. It's Don Callis family. Um, they do get the win. Andrade hits him with that like spinning corkscrew. It's almost like the double underhook DDT. It's kind of like a Death Rider spinning Death
Yeah, like
Rider.
I'm trying to explain it either.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how to explain it. It looks cool. It looks really cool
Hmm.
though when he does it.
Yeah,
And so they get the win. So let's talk about the match before we talk about after match. What do you think of just the match?
the match was good. Um, the Rascals are on 10 when they can be. So I absolutely enjoyed them when they wrestle. Andrade, like you said, Andrade and Mark Davis tagging is a very, like I say, odd pairing, but it's like, oh, that's new. We'll say that. Like, oh, that's a new pairing. We'll see what happens. Not sure if it 100% gels, but it was fine for what it was. I definitely say it was fine for what it was. And like I said, just like you said, it was weird because on one hand, Mark Davis is a tag team wrestler, so him versus Rackles makes sense. Andrade, I think, is probably the wild card out of all of this, which is like, huh? Or just like again, I don't make 100% sense when you're doing matches, but it is like it has been some kind of concept of, oh, even after the match, oh, I get it now. Even after the match, it's like I don't get it. It was a good match. It was fine, but yeah, you know, just again.
Hmm.
I'll say that.
Agreed. Uh, After the match, Don Callis enters the ring to celebrate with Davis and Andrade. Okada's music hits. He comes out with Roppongi Vice, Trent Beretta, and Rocky Romero. They come down to the ring. They start to attack Kyle. They start to attack the Rascals because to make up for Kyle Fletcher, Okada wants to prove he's Kyle Fletcher's best friend. He's going to hit a Rainmaker, but here comes Myron Reed, and Myron Reed alone, with a lot of big moves, clears the ring of the whole Don Callis family, and then drags Zachary Wentz up to his feet and gets Desmond Xavier up to his feet, and all three Rascals kind of stand tall in the ring when it's all said and done. It's interesting to me, like. I'm curious to know if in the back of Tony Khan's mind, when he brought the Rascals in, these three, if he's always had kind of this idea that there would be some sort of split, because I feel like since the minute they came in, there's been kind of weird energy with Myron Reed and the other two. Like, there have been a couple of moments where, like, they've had tag team matches, and like his facial expressions or body gestures look a little weird. Like, why am I not included? And then tonight he comes out and clears the ring on his own. He doesn't look weird at his teammates, but he clears the ring on his own. Like, I don't even need help from you guys. I'm so good. I can just beat the Don Callis family myself. And I don't know. It feels like some weird kind of odd kind of tension ribbing almost without directly addressing any kid or doing something blatant. But I love Myron Reed. Happy to see him take out the Don Callis family. I'm excited for him. For me personally, I mean, him and Wesley are my two favorites of the Rascals, but he might even be. I might like him a little bit more than Wesley or Desmond Xavier. So I'm very happy to see that. I'm wondering. It's always felt like it's been a little bit of a weird kind of dynamic there. What do you think about this? Because he's not the natural third guy, right? Trey Miguel is a natural third Rascal, and so I
Mm.
don't. It just seems kind of like, yeah.
So I don't think it's unnatural. I do think that him taking out Roppongi Vice and Okada by himself was a stretch. I think I'll say that. I get we're laid out, but it's like, that's more so of a bad reflection of Roppongi Vice than a reflection of how how the Rascals are faring. I'm like, how you let this one dude take out three people? Like that did not make no sense. I know we're trying to like in the future we're gonna get him versus Okada, but this was a lot. Like you didn't have to do all like that. You did not have to go through these lengths to show how good he was. Like at least have Okada leave the ring and then let him take out maybe Wrecker Romero and what's his oh my god, what's his name?
Beretta.
This part Chipperetta. I'm like, all three was a lie. I'm not even gonna hold you. So more so I was just like, what? Okay. You gonna let me believe he's that good. I know he's good, but that good. Sure. Fine. Well, you know what? Do y'all fine. But yeah, that was definitely a stretch. That's like more so not like how the Rascals are faring. But more so like that was a lot. I mean, like yeah, that was definitely a lot to say he's that good.
No, I agree. I was very surprised when he took out Okada and Beretta and Rocky Romero. So
Yeah.
let's see. It's time for the main event. It is an 8-man tornado tag team match between Roderick Strong and Orange Cassidy of the Conglomeration and AEW's trio, well, two members of the trio's champions, Mystico and Heaven the Jet Knights versus the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta, and David Finlay and Clark Connors of the Dogs. Yeah, I mean, this match again, it is one of those where I tend to not be necessarily the biggest fan, especially of these when they're tornado matches, because then you have so much action, the camera can't catch it all, you miss a lot of it. But still, some extremely solid spots, some great wrestling. Kevin Knight did hit the huge. What do they call that move? Something I
It's
forget what they call his final move, but
the UF
that huge
the UFO
the
splash.
UFO. He hit a huge UFO splash, like over a Mystico who had dude in the armbar and still
Yeah.
splashed on top of him. I mean, it was pretty amazing. He continues to evolve that move to make it look even better and better, going farther and farther across the ring, turning more in the air so it looks even cooler. All those things. I'm fine with them getting the win. I'm happy to see all this happen. I liked all this. I love David Finley. I like Clark Connors. I'm here for the dogs. It feels like a natural fit with the Death Riders and the dogs. I don't know why. I mean, Gabe Kidd was already essentially felt like a member of the Death Riders. I mean, he was essentially an honorable member. I don't know why the Death Riders and the dogs haven't just basically merged together, to be honest with you, and call them the Death Dogs. Oh, that might be stupid, but just bringing the dogs, the Death Riders, whatever it could be. But yeah, I mean, that feels like a natural whatever. I guess the only static would be that David Finley feels like he's the leader and John Moxley is the leader of the Death Riders. So I suppose
Yeah.
you could have some sort of rub there. But happy to see David Finley. This is honestly, I mean, this is only the second or third time we've seen David Finley in AEW. So happy for that, right? Is that
A
not right?
handful of
Yeah.
times. Yeah. Yeah.
So very happy about that. Love Clark Connors. I thought this was good. I guess I understand why the faces get the win. It is, it is what it is. I still don't like coming out to Mystico's slow music. The song is probably fine. It's probably a great song, and it has a ton of meaning for him. Like I said before, it just doesn't do anything to hype me up. I feel like you need a song to get your blood flowing, and that's not one of them. So,
Yeah.
but that being said, the match itself was really good. Congratulations to Kevin Knight. And yeah, solid main event. What do you think of the main event?
The main event was fun, definitely fun. Like I don't, I get what you're saying about tornado tags, where it's like a lot is going on, and it's like how do you keep up with all of it? But I think they did a good job with not going too overboard, where it was just like it wasn't anarchy in the arena, where just like five different things were going on all over the place. So I guess I think they did a good job at containing what the thing was. That UFO splash at the end was yeah, leaping over two dudes and going midair is insane. That definitely like, huh? What exact? Yeah, it's definitely like what? How do you know you can do that? First of all, how do you figure? How do you find out you can do that stuff? Um, dogs. I don't know what we have to do. 'Cause, like, I like this group. This group is good. So why are they losing? Like, what are we doing? Why is this a thing here we have to figure out? Yeah, that was definitely like, what? Why is it so hard to let the dogs have a win? And they're new. None of them been like they're a group of the past. They just debuted in AEW, bruh. So I'm not sure exactly what we have to do here to get them on the next level. Cause I think TK has to understand you do realize your tag team is not as good as you think it is. Like after we get done with FTR versus Cope and Christian,
What?
who's next? Like you really haven't set up who's next in this scenario, and that's not a good thing. So hopefully they'll figure
No.
this out. But it was a it was a great match, and everyone in it did definitely shine. So to all of that, I say, yeah, the match was great. I definitely enjoyed the main event.
Yeah, I thought this was a solid episode of Collision. They did have the two squash matches that were a little down for me, but between
Oh, your mic went off. Oh, now you're good. Now you're good.
Okay. Between Moxley and Bowens, which I thought was a good match to open the show, I'm going to give this a B minus. If it wasn't for the two squash matches, I'd give it a B. But I'm going to give it a B minus just because of the couple squash matches. But I thought overall it was a very solid episode of Collision. What kind of grade are you giving this episode of Collision?
I definitely see what your plot is. I'm trying to think of anything that I did not like. Uh, None is coming to me. Like you said, like squash matches. Um, yeah, Andrade. Even though it was good, even though the match didn't suck, Andrade versus Rock system makes sense. But like I said, nothing egregious. But it's like, what are we doing here? Nothing like that. So I'll give it a B minus. We'll see. Yeah, it'll be B minus.
All right. So we both have given Collision from April 2nd a B minus. That is the end of our Collision review. We're going to switch gears, and Anika's going to take over and lead us through a review of AEW Dynamite.
Hi, I'm Anika. This is AEW Dynamite from October 8th. Yes. This is the goal. Crazy enough, and I did feel like it really crept over me, and maybe that's just me. That's just me. Gotta pay better attention. But I did not think Dynamite was this weekend. We're just like, oh shoot, it's this weekend. Dang, this was the go home show for AEW Dynasty, and we start off red hot, where we have Osprey getting his behind whooped by Moxley and the Death Riders, but all of a sudden, a freaking SUV pulls up, and here's this girl, Alice Windsor in a suit, go come up beside him, looking like she a ball for that, whatever, and then like I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I can't say this shit. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Besides that, she like so evidently she brought back up. And I didn't know this that United Empire was still a thing, and over at New Japan, and the New Japan champion comes out, and the new Empire group comes out to help. They're all in suits, and a brawl ensues. And so the brawl is in the parking lot. Everybody's getting their looks in, and then Alice Windsor drags Marina Shafir into the arena, and the God, and then the battle keeps going on over there, and then after that, uh, Osprey challenges the Death Riders for a match tonight, and to that I like. I'm like, okay. Uh, categorically wise, this makes sense because yeah, if Osprey is still what's called if you keep getting your behind kicked and you got friends, yeah, let's call the friends. And I love and more so this is more so of a little bit of a prelude to Forbidden Door because like I said, I didn't know after Kyle Fletcher and Mark like after everybody disbanded, there were still people in the United Empire. I didn't know that. And I didn't know that Oscar actually went across the pond to have his protege to be there for his protege to win the title. So that was actually good. And afterwards, they show like if you want to watch it, it's on YouTube on AEW where it's like they have Osprey over there to see his boy win the championship. And during the press conference, he's like, if you got some time, I got a little trouble at work. Is what he said. Can you come up and help? That's a little prelude and help. So, strategy wise, it was great. Definitely, Oscar got some backup. I love it, and it is set in stone for tomorrow. This is the main event for tonight. Osprey, I'm sorry, United Empire versus Death Riders. I like so all that I like. It's just I like when like oh my god, we get it. Y'all are married. Triple H definitely didn't appear on screen this doggone much. We didn't know we were fake married. Sweet Jesus, but it is what it is. Whatever. But it was a good brawl. Your thoughts?
I loved all of this. I was very excited when I saw United Empire get out of the SUV. I'm here for all of this. I think this came off great. This was a very heavy Death Riders United Empire episode. The first opening segment took like 20 minutes altogether, and then the main event was like 40 minutes. So this is a very heavy 2-hour collision, like an hour of this show, or 2-hour Dynamite, an hour of this show, or 2.5 hours, I think it was. Like an hour of this show was United Empire versus Death Riders in some way, shape, or form. So I'm here for all of that. I thought they did a really good job of making the United Empire guys, Aaron Hanare and Callan Newman, look very, very strong. I thought they let Alex Windsor look good against Marina Shafir, which is a big deal. And you're just jealous because you like Will Ospreay. That's why
I don't
like Alex Windsor.
But listen. Once I find out your official relationship and you're on screen, it's fine. But no, she just rolling. She's the one. She's the one in the driver's seat with the suit on. And she's smiling. I'm like, oh my god, bruh.
I'm going to say something really, really gross, and I don't know why I noticed it. It's not like I was looking, but Will Ospreay's sweatpants need to fit better in the groinal area. His junk was flapping around. So as he was moving around a lot, it was very free flowing. It happened to get to my attention. I don't know why, but it did. So wear tighter underwear or something. But
listen.
It's all good.
Maybe he don't know. Maybe he don't know, and someone needs to point that out to him. Your wife. I'm just saying, your wife right there. Your wife is, hey, you don't put those trunks on there. Oh, okay, we just gonna free ball it. Okay, fine, whatever, it's fine.
No, I loved all this, and I thought that I find it interesting that they did this brawl in the beginning. I mean, it makes sense to then just not wait any time and do the match on the same episode. That being said, and nothing wrong with it, but that being said, it did make it a very heavy United Empire Death Riders episode, right? Because like I said, the opening thing took a while. The final match didn't give a lot of time. So, but again, not that that's bad. It just, they could have done, I mean, I guess you're already doing Ospreay and Moxley at Dynasty, so you can't really do United Empire versus Death Riders at Dynasty. So I guess you might as well do it here. But I thought this opening segment was great. I thought they did a really good job here. So I'm very happy about that. Happy to see United Empire here in AEW. It'll be curious to see. I know that Kyle Fletcher's out, and I know that he's already basically previously denounced Will Ospreay, said we're not the same, blah blah, better than you. But Aussie Open is an integral and a big time member of United Empire, and I wonder if Mark Davis, I know it's the Don Callis family, it's not the Death Riders, but I wonder if Mark Davis doesn't feel maybe a little torn or can't be convinced to maybe potentially come back to the United Empire either alone or I don't know. I feel like there could be some legs there potentially at some point. So we'll see. But I'm here for all of this. I thought this was a great way to open the show. I'm happy to have United Empire and AEW at least for the moment. So.
No, like I said, I didn't even know. Like I said, I knew the original United Empire. I didn't know they were still doing it without the original people gone. So that was definitely a surprise to me. So I'm like, they look fine. Y'all just like again, if we're gonna get more of the new United Empire, can y'all please present them properly? Do not think because you're AEW, you gotta do Japan as well. That's the biggest lie on the planet. We do not. So please do a video package if we see them again.
Agreed.
Oh, this is my show. Okay. So next up we have Don Callis doing this whole soliloquy about the Don Callis family being stronger than ever, even though, even though Fletcher is down right now. We will rise from the ashes, and people are still thinking about when is Okada and Takeshita gonna go at it. No, they're gonna. I'm Phil Jackson, and they're my Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and we're good. And us working for MJF is like we picked up Connor J. I'm like, who the frick is Connor J? The frick? Okay. But Theo's better than ever with the multi-man match coming up as we beat Darby Allin, Until Jack Perry, and Brody King. Kyle Strong. I'm like, it's the Kyle Strong thing. Can y'all? I don't like you. I don't like this thing. Your thoughts on this promo?
So there was a minute where, like, when I saw this promo, I started laughing out loud because I felt like he was talking to Anika specifically. I was like, Don Callis might have just addressed it to Anika specifically. She keeps complaining about why have we not got Takeshita and Okada? And he basically said, Anika, you're not getting it. You got to deal with it. That's just the way it is. I run a professional franchise. I like the drama. I like these two wanting to not get along with each other. And you ain't going to get to see it. I was like, damn.
It wasn't just me, though. Let's be very, very clear. There's a lot of people who think this match should happen before it happened.
No, I agree 100%. And I'm on that boat too. It was like, I was like, holy, he's talking to Anika. Because I know you've been like, we need this match. And I was like, so, no, I mean, I thought this was fine all the way around. The stuff, obviously, he's laying it on very thick about Kyle Fletcher, and that's fine. It is what it is. Kyle Fletcher is the alpha of what you call it, the Don Callis family, so it's fine. I guess Takeshita technically goes by the alpha, but I mean, he's the big dog at the moment. I mean, Okada might contend that, but he's the big dog for the moment in the Don Callis family. So him being out is a very big deal. Vacating the title is an issue. That's how you know that somebody's really injured and going to be out for a minute when they actually have to vacate the title. And especially in AEW, because Tony Khan's not super quick to just take the title off of injured people. Like, if it's a short injury, a couple weeks or months, he might even let you just hold that belt and disappear for a minute and then come back and defend it. We've seen that, right? So, like, that means that Kyle Fletcher's going to be out for a minute, which is, again, unfortunate. We talked about that during our Collision review. But yeah, no, I mean, I thought this was fun. Don Callis is great. I'm here for the Battle Royal or the Gauntlet match. I guess we're calling it the Casino Gauntlet at Dynasty to see who becomes the new TNT champion. It's not interim, I guess, because he vacated.
He's a champion, yeah.
So, no, I mean, I'm here for it, and I thought that this was fine. I thought the whole promo was fine.
Yeah. All right, and so next is the multi-man tag that Don Callis announced. It was supposed to be Brody, Darby, and Jack Perry, but I think Brody got hurt. I'm like, what the heck, bro? What is going on? Where it's just like, nah, bro. I hope with Brody King, it is not serious. It's like, please do not. Don't add everybody. Brody King cannot be hurt. Please, please. We were gaining momentum. I'm not sure where we were going with the momentum. We were gaining momentum. But to take Brody King's place, his partner, Desperado.
Bandito.
Is it Desperado? Bandito, thank you. Bandito took his place. So it is Darby Allin, Perry, and Bandito versus Andrade, Takeshita, and Mark Davis. And beginning of the match, I'm not sure what Andrade saw, but he was like, I'm not dealing with none of this. This is crazy. And he walks back out the ramp like like he went to do jack squat. So Darby sees him, the match starts, but you know, Takeshita, he about that. He don't care. He down for whatever. So him and Darby started, but it was supposed to go into I want to say suplex, but Jack Perry drop kicked him, and then just I keep saying Desperado, I don't know why. Bandito and Darby went over the top rope, through the top rope, and Darby gets, and so after they laid out Takeshita and Mark Davis, Darby's like, Andrade, you're the best. We're one of the best brothers in AEW. Why I think a little? Why you I do like John Charles? Come out here right now. So Andrade just comes out, but of course, I guess it was a plan, because after he comes out and faces Darby, Takeshita grabs Darby from behind and does the wheelbarrow suplex, and then he does that. I'm like, how's that a plan? Like, I mean, I guess if you talk over, yeah, okay. You gotta think about it before you say words. I'm like, I guess if you know how hot Darby is, yeah, him just leaving will ignite, and that will give him the advantage. So I get that a little bit. Great, again, great match. National tag, which is great because everything's not contained. But for some reason, because Darby don't like his body, you can't tell me Darby likes his body. Darby don't like his dang body. Mark Davis and Takeshita has Darby, and they swing him over the barricade to hit, I guess, the timekeeper's table. Does not hit the table. He hits the rail for the freaking barricade. He's fine though. He cool, because it's Darby. It's Darby. Like the interview he had where he said he only got injured 3 times in his whole career. I'm like, please, bull crap. Either you're lying or you're taking the freaking Brett Favre shot before you do these doggone matches. I don't know which is which, but bull crap. But Andrade wins with a double underhook swinging thing. He does. We gotta find a name for it. We'll find it. 1, 2, 3. He covers Jack Perry. Don Callis family wins this match. How do you feel with this match?
I thought the match was fine for what it was. I mean, they definitely, there was a lot of good spots. That spot where they threw Darby, I was like, holy shit, they threw him a long way, and he landed pretty hard. But that's classic Darby. No, I mean, I guess I understand why the Don Callis family gets the win on Collision. The other guys got the that was Death Rider versus Dogs, I guess. But so I guess it's not really the same. But nonetheless, anyhow, I guess I understand why they got the win here. Andrade looked solid. Mark Davis looked solid. I guess somebody has to take the loss. I mean, it seems to me that Bandito would be more poised to take the loss than Jack Perry, but again, It is what it is. So no, I mean, I thought the match itself was fine. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
It was. I guess Darby has the big match, so as long as it's not Darby, it's fine. I guess.
Exactly.
All right. So after the match, Don Callis' family does their thing with beating up Jack Perry and beating up Darby Allin. But to the rescue comes the Young Bucks. It's like I haven't seen them in a long time. When I say long time, it's like I'm not even sure the last time they had a match on Dynamite, but it is what it is. They come in to save the day, and super kick, part-time, all over the place. And we're gonna go for the whole jumping pile driver. But Okada comes and hooks the leg from underneath Nick, and they start and okay, Okada and Takeshita starts teaming up. Okay, cool, to take out the Bucks. Okay, cool. But it is Takeshita and Okada, and they can't just for 1 minute just not be them. So I love while they're stumping out the Young Bucks, they try to outdo each other. They start chest chopping, and to my beautiful surprise, they're like, screw this, look at you both, and they started shaking for her. I'm like, heck yes, yes, finally, let's freaking go. I'm tired of this crap. And of course, Don Cal's family has to bring them because of family, whatever. But then here comes, who's this man from I'm trying to be respectful because so who the wrestlers come out and take out the Don Callis family, and who's the person who's going for Okada's title? What's his name?
Myron Reed.
And Myron Reed comes out and attacks Okada. Well, so they're out there do a dual dive, and Myron Reed does a dive single-handedly on Okada again, and he does the signaling of winning the Continental title. What title does Okada have?
The international champion.
That sucker. It is announced that it is Okada versus Myron Reed on Collision for the title. So I love that. We're actually heading towards a potential we call it a future match. We're actually preparing a future match on Collision through all of this, which I do love. So this was great fun. Let's see the Bucks back. Love to finally see Okada and Takeshita saying, "Screw it, we're actually going to just start hitting each other." And again, Myron Reed versus Okada, which should be a good match on Collision. Any thoughts?
So much going on here. Holy smokes! I mean,
it was a lot.
There's a lot going on here between the Bucks coming out and all that. Takeshita and Okada finally exchanging some blows, just because they can't stand each other so much. And it seems more like, don't get me wrong, like I can tell that Takeshita doesn't like Okada, but Okada's definitely the instigator. Like Okada is definitely the one that is like, he doesn't want Takeshita around, clearly more than it feels like Takeshita doesn't want him around. So, which is fine. It is what it is. I thought those two going at it was a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, then you got you got Archer and them coming out, and then you got the Rascals coming out. Just a whole lot. I mean, Myron Reed, yes. I mean, I'm excited for Myron Reed versus Okada. I think it should be a good match. It's probably 80% chance that Okada retains, which is unfortunate. I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to Myron Reed getting a fluke victory over a guy like Okada, however they decide to do that. I mean, I think that the Rascals would benefit from potentially having a belt holder in their stable. And I don't think the Rascals are beating FTR at the moment, tag team wise. So, so that would be cool. But yeah, I mean, other than it being a whole lot here and not totally sure, a lot of it feels like there's a whole lot jumbled together and not a definitive focus. But beyond that, it's still just fun and entertaining. So I enjoyed it.
Most definitely. All right. And so let's get a backstage interview with Lexi Nair. Is that her name? I believe so. I guess with one of the official doctors of AEW. And more so, this was just like, listen, for the people who don't know that when MJF talks, it's more with hyperbole. Like, it's not actual, he doesn't really mean what he says. So, for the people who were worried about when he said that at any moment, Kenny Omega diverticulitis can kill him, they're like, okay, let's just clear the air. No, it will not kill him. Kenny Omega is clear to wrestle, so please stop. So please do not worry. So please do not worry about his condition. MJF is being MJF. He is fine. If you have any more questions, just let me know. But that's basically what it was. Like, listen, MJF just talks. Kenny Omega is fine. Tell your kids that you don't hear word about Kenny dying when he wrestles. You have any thoughts on this segment?
No, I mean, I thought it was fine for what it was. I mean, I can't even remember the last time I saw a promo with just a doctor. So that's one thing that's kind of interesting. But yeah, I mean, obviously, MJF is great. He does those kinds of things. And like you said, it's all hyperbole and all those things. So just to reiterate, Kenny is fine. Kenny will be there for the match. He's all healthy. You don't have to worry about him dying in the ring or getting sick before the match. But yeah, I thought it was very interesting. You could tell, not that there was anything wrong with this, but you could tell that he's not a guy that's normally in front of the camera. He didn't look overly comfortable, let's put it that way. But it was fine for what it was. I mean, he's a doctor. He shouldn't look overly comfortable. It shouldn't look like he's TV made or anything, right? So no, I thought it came out fine, and the information was solid. So
yep, definitely. He was definitely like, all right, can I please leave? If we're good, any questions? All right, bye. All right. And so next we get and I'm loving this. Okay, breathe, use your words, Nick. So next we have a Will Nightingale TBS Championship match, and it's like y'all are finally getting what the TBS Championship was supposed to be. It's called the TBS Championship for a reason, so you can face people for the title on TBS. It's like, oh, we finally get the purpose of this championship. So yeah, Will's Open Challenge has begun, and a returning Queen Amina is back, and I was so happy. I remember her. I remember her getting hurt, and it was during the it was during the tag team match, which was for the Naira Women's Championships, which she was Jamie Hayter's technique partner, and that sucked so much because I actually did love her and Jamie Hayter as a team. Like they're both hard hitting, and it actually came out very well. So I was very hurt when she got hurt. So, very glad that she is back, and and I love, like, it wasn't a promotion for the match, but I love the whole underlying. Which is just like I just want to know that I'm still me, and that's why I'm happy this match to get to Willow. So Willow comes out. The match starts, a nice little friendly handshake, and we're off to the races. And if you have not seen Queen on a fight, she is a stiff girl. She don't care. She does not care. She is about to beat your, like she was to beat your, basically. like ain't no pulling punches. You gonna be in there. You better be in there for a fight. And I love and Willow is Willow. She is all game. So a bunch of hard hitting, a bunch of going against the ring rail. This is like, y'all have to go this hard. I'm enjoying it, but still take it easy. I'm not just her version of the devil tisses, but instead of the head hitting the floor, she actually uses the head to hit her butt, which is it is what it is. Again, I hear again some more hard chops to the chest, like y'all are dudes, and a couple of misses, but Willow finally yanks her to the corner, and it's just like, yeah, like every time she uses the girl, like, yeah, lift Willow up. The arm ropes come off. She does the powerbomb. 1, 2, 3. Willow for the win. Side note, while she was having the match, Sheeta was out there looking at it. Sure. All right, dude. If you, again, that's sure they're doing with Sheeta. It's not. I'm not mad at it, but it's like, what is the plan here? It's very interesting, but great match. Love to see Queen Aminata back. Hopefully, we see more of her, and hopefully the victories for Willow will keep going. Your thoughts?
No, I thought this was very good. Very happy to see Queen Aminata back. I didn't even realize, not that I didn't necessarily miss her, but I didn't realize it had been 5 months. since we last saw her. So yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Happy to have her back. I'm a big Queen Aminata fan. These two have good chemistry. Happy to see these two in the ring together. I thought this was good. Willow needs some good victories in these last 2 weeks. She's had some. So I'm here for this. I hope they continue to let her hold the title and have, more victories against solid women. And again, happy to have Aminata back. I thought the match came off really, really well. So I'm very happy with the way it all came off. So I thought Aminata looked good. She didn't look like she
looked really good.
No ring rust, all those kinds of things. So, and I hope that, it feels like we've been seeing her as really good for a while. And maybe now Tony Khan's starting to come around. So hopefully this is more of good things to follow for her. So
Most definitely. All right, and so now we're getting these one or two video packages for our main event of Dynasty, MJF versus Kenny Omega. The first one is for MJF, and just talking about the whole road that MJF got to be basically his whole AEW career, and it was very much so well done. Of everything, all his opponents, all of his championship title reigns and wins, like. You don't think 5 years is a long time, but 5 years has been a very long time. Like I forgot when MJ, like I almost forgot that when MJF was doing the whole presidential spiel of him trying to own a vote, and almost forgot how he beat John Moxley with the whole brass knucks and William Regal thing. William Regal helping him, like all that was so crazy. So to see that retrospect was very, very well, and and more so. And I forget this, but just in case people didn't see this, the whole first match between Kenny Omega and MJF on Collision. Like, imagine, like, I'm gonna say, screw it. Like, see how far we've come. That on Collision, early days, we were having Kenny Omega versus MJF, and now, like, I'm not even sure, like the past year, have we had anything remotely close to something that big? We maybe in the future, but as of right now, none of them jobs are ringing a bell. But yeah, so the first time it was MJF versus Kenny Omega. MJF did win; he was champion, but Kenny was not 100%. So we'll see if what's the word? If time repeats itself. Your thoughts on this video?
It's fine. I just don't know why. Anyone that watches AEW knows what MJF has done and where he's been and all those things. It feels like this video is done in remembrance of something, but there's nothing to remember. Dude is here right now, champion at the moment, about to have a big match in 2 days, or in 4 days. It just felt weird. I mean, I understand wanting to put his career in perspective, and this is all he's accomplished. I just don't understand why here, why now, and why we care at this point. So that being said, the video itself was done very good, and there were things that I saw in there that you're right, I had forgotten, but so what? I mean, it doesn't really matter. I guess I'm not sure of the purpose.
I think so. Two purposes. Number one, definitely to remind people of the first MJF versus Kenny Omega match. I think that's probably the first. That's probably definitely the first reason. Second reason was I think they're going to do a match, do a video for Kenny because Kenny's been in and out for a minute. So I think they're going to do a video for Kenny to make sure to if you've been living under a rock, if you want to, let's just show you how good Kenny is. If you just tune into AEW. So I think they're like, oh, we're doing one for Kenny, we should do one for MJF. So I think but I think the main reason was to re-show that they did have a match before. So, but I think they're probably those are the top two reasons.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, I totally agree. Where it's just he has been here. It hasn't been, I totally understand why you. I'm sorry, but I'm like, I think those are the main two reasons.
So the Omega stuff I would understand, right? Omega had a huge career way before AEW came around, and people that aren't familiar with New Japan, aren't familiar with the independent scene or the more kind of independent scene, might not have that history with Kenny Omega, right? So I can see wanting to do that. The reality is that MJF has only been, well, not only been, but essentially been in AEW. I mean, he was in MLW before and on the independents a little bit before, but his career, I mean, he basically started in AEW for all intents and purposes. And, you know, and it seems weird. Like, I don't think we need the background on MJF. There are a lot of people that need and want the background on Kenny Omega because a lot of his stuff was done prior to AEW, but we don't have that issue with MJF. He didn't do anything big before AEW. I mean, you know, he was in a couple little independent things, but it's like nobody cares about that. So it is what it is. But again, I see the purpose for Kenny Omega. I just don't understand for an MJF. But
now I think what's the word? I think the reason was like I said, they were like, oh, sometimes was like, oh, we gotta do one for Kenny, we gotta do one for MJF. I think that's literally the reason for that.
No, I'm sure you're probably right.
All right, and so next we have an in-ring segment with Chris Jericho.
No, I'm boycotting this. I'm boycotting this. I refuse
we're
to talk about this.
Canada, and because we're in Canada, Chris Jericho comes back.
I'm giving this week's Dynamite an F for this segment and for Jericho being back. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to give him any breath. The fact that he's back irritates the hell out of me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Listen, because we were not here last week, so we could not have our true feelings of the Chris Jericho debut. Real quick, I didn't like it. I know Chris Jericho thinks he's. I know Chris Jericho thinks he's Michael Jackson. You're not. So the whole. I'm gonna just stand there and let them praise me. After 13, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm already through. You had enough time to turn me over, and you used it up. I can't stand you. And I'm like, oh my god, I know I'm gone. I already want him gone. But nonetheless, for people who want to know, is that we're in Canada. So after Dynasty, and so you know we're in Canada. So sorry. Chris Jericho is going to get praise. I will be very, very amazed to see what happens when we get back to the United States. What kind of reaction Jericho will get? Cause like, hometown, you're already gonna get a hometown pop. But yeah, going back after Dynasty to the United States, I want to see what kind of reaction he gets when we get back. But right here, right? So he was assigned his official new AEW contract. You couldn't tell us how long the contract, like how long you gonna be? like you're not gonna tell us that? Okay, fine, whatever. He's gonna be a whole soliloquy of AEW is the best. We're the best wrestle. That's why I got into the best shape I've been in years, and I'm so happy to come back into the company I helped build. I'm like, that's a little that was a little hyperbole. Are we gonna be like maybe I'm overthinking it, but I'm like that sounds like a little bit of a heel thing to say. The company I helped build. I'm like, you had one match with Hangman. Well, how big was that match? I'm just saying. Like I'm just saying. I came to watch AEW when I saw Moxley was coming over. That was me. And you know, sorry. But yeah, they're like, so let's finally sign this contract. And here comes Ricochet and the Demand, which was very like, okay. I want to come out. I definitely didn't see them coming out. And so Ricochet comes out and does a whole spiel of can't believe that Tony Khan pulled you, and newsflash, we don't need you anymore. Ticket sales have never been higher. TV ratings have never been higher. And it's all thanks to me. So we do not need you anymore. And then, so Chris Jericho's like, so you just made my day. This is not just a contract for my new AEW deal. It's actually a contract for Dynamite so I can face whoever I want to. He's like, I haven't done this in 10 years, but you know what happens to people who we call it, who interrupt Chris Jericho? You know what happens to people who are just bald? Do I have one? Well, I don't have one. Take it. He's like, yes, and I'm going to go, oh, you haven't done it in 10 years. work. You actually did it. Yeah. So Dynasty, Ricochet versus Jericho. I think this is Ricochet's punishment for being stupid on the line. And to that, I'm like, okay, sure. Did he deserve to go into the vortex? I don't know. But yeah, let him be the first match. Okay, fine. I do. We're in the same boat with Jericho. Definitely didn't think he was going to come back. I don't know what we're going to do after this. I didn't think we are going to have a match. Like, we're actually having a match. He's actually going to wrestle. He's actually going to be in the ring. Okay, fine. Whatever. It is what it is. But your thoughts on this segment?
Yeah, I mean, I hated it. I don't like Chris Jericho. I'm very disappointed that he's back. I don't, and I don't understand. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me why Ricochet is going to be his first opponent. Don't understand why he gets a match immediately in Dynasty. There are plenty of other guys that deserve those spots over him. And I don't understand why he gets the adulation. I guess we're in Canada, so it is what it is. I don't feel the same as you. I think it's going to be the same when he gets back to the States too. For some reason, people love Chris Jericho and they love to sing Judas and they love to praise him. And I think it's not going to be any different once he's back in the States. So unfortunately for me, he probably signed a 20-year contract and he's going to wrestle for 20 more years. And I'm going to have to endure him for a lot longer, which is very unfortunate. So all that said, this was the worst part of the show for me. I mean, it wasn't the worst part as far as production-wise. Jericho's fine. He's a fine talker. Ricochet's a fine talker. All that stuff is fine. The match doesn't make sense, and Jericho being back, why it's on Dynasty, and Jericho being back, it destroys the whole thing for me. It ruined the whole episode. But
yeah. All right. And so next we have a backstage segment with the whole, most of them. That's most of them. The Don Callis family in the back with Lexi Nair, and Don Callis is like, listen. And so now Don Callis is focused on business, and the first order of business is having Andrade defeat Darby Allin, Muy Bueno, and from stopping him getting a shot at the AEW title. And picking the stupid young bucks that got the fucking nose in our business. So, AEW Dynasty, the Young Bucks will be facing Takeshita and Okada. And then they're like, Takeshita's like, no, why do you keep wanting this to happen? What part of it? Like, he's like, in the word, I'm overdoing it. But Takeshita's like, no, I am not teaming with him. And Don Callis is like, no, this is for Kyle. He's fighting for. Kyle is fighting for his life. Sir, he has a torn meniscus. That's all he has. He is not fighting for his life. He's like, you two are going to get this out of your system. You're going to work together like Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. So, of course, Takeshita, who is always the person to go to offer the olive branch, extended the freaking handshake for Okada. Okada takes it, but of course Okada gotta be stupid. And so he pulls the catch, and he's like, let's be very clear. I'm Jordan, and you're Scottie Pippen. And so the cat's like, I saw the stuff and start happening again. And Donald's stupid like, stop! I'm fighting for his life. This is Kyle. Oh, this is so dumb. Oh, this is so dumb in the best way possible. But I like it. I do. It's dumb, but I like it. Your thoughts on this segment?
It was fine for what it was. I mean, the Don Callis family is funny. They got a lot of solid talkers. The stuff with Takeshita and Okada is great. I'm Michael Jordan. You're Scottie Pippen. Obviously, Okada likes to poke the bear. He wants Takeshita, and he wants to rile Takeshita up. So it sounds like we might get the match after these two tag up the Dynasty. So interesting. I mean, I think Okada and Takeshita versus the Young Bucks will be amazing. I don't have any reason to think differently, so I'm here for that. And if we actually get Okada versus Takeshita afterwards, I'm definitely here for all that. So I thought the promo was fun.
Yeah.
The Don Callis family is a lot of fun, and yeah, this was interesting.
All of that. Yes, 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 yes. And so next up we have uh sorry, brain fart. Ciampa versus Mystico to see who will be the first to be in the Casino Battle Royale, no, Casino Battle Gauntlet for the TNT Championship. And the reason why is this is not the Royal Rumble, it's reversed. Because it's a gauntlet. Whoever gets the first one, two, three wins the belt. So the longer you are in there, the more opportunity you have to win. Besides the first time around. So this was a great match. Like I said, Mystico has become a revelation since being in AEW and back in CMLL. And Ciampa, I'm glad to see him on Dynamite. I'm glad to see him on Dynamite. I think there should be a good rotation of every once a month a Dynamite, a collision person should be on Dynamite. It just makes sense. Like, okay, they've done their thing. It's like, and Ciampa's Ciampa. I think he should be on Dynamite, but I feel like he's a collision guy just because he likes to wrestle a lot. He just wants to wrestle. So I get why people collision more. But yeah, definitely once a month I need to see Ciampa on Dynasty. And I have a feeling. Okay, great match as usual with the knee to the face and the fairy tale. I think called a fairy tale ending. Uh, Ciampa wins. He will be the first person in the Casino Battle Gauntlet. And I say all that to say I think he is winning the TNT title. I don't know who else would be in favor of winning it, in my opinion. I think like he had that great match with Fletcher and a great match with Mark Briscoe. So I definitely deem him to be the one to win and to be the one to get it to win the TNT championship. But great match. What do you think of the match? And him being and Ciampa winning.
I thought the match itself was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. Both guys can really wrestle. Ciampa with the win, as he probably should be getting the win. Yeah, like you said, having the first spot in the gauntlet is a good position, and it does set him up pride to be the favorite at this point. The problem is that he's the only name we know in it as of now, at least that I'm aware of. So it's hard to really gauge who else might have an opportunity because we don't know who else is actually in the gauntlet. Once we hear some other names, maybe I'll have a different opinion on it. But as of now, it would seem to me, like you said, with his match against Kyle Fletcher and his match against Mark Briscoe, previously and already holding the TNT championship once, it wouldn't surprise me if he is the favorite to win it again. But again, without knowing exactly who's in this gauntlet, it's hard to really make that assessment. But Ciampa has looked very good since coming to AEW. I'll say it again. I'm very happy that he has escaped WWE and that he is in AEW. So yeah, I thought this was great. I enjoyed all this. I'm looking forward to the gauntlet match at Dynamite.
Yeah.
As much as I like Kyle Fletcher, I do think Kyle Fletcher's. I know that Tony wants all the titles to feel the same. There's a part of me that feels like Kyle Fletcher's already moved past the TNT title.
Yes.
And
Yes,
so,
yes.
If him being injured and out for a while results in someone else, it's going to result in someone else being TNT championship. But if that results in when he coming back, maybe his attention is more on the AEW championship as opposed to going back to the TNT title. I'm all here for that. So.
No, we're definitely on the same page. Yeah, when he comes back, his mind should be on the AEW World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
All right, and so backstage, like we talked, as we heard on Collision, the conglomeration and what's her name, Mystico and Kevin Knight beat the War Dogs and Death Riders and the dogs. The dogs did not take kindly to that. So we're in a tunnel somewhere where they're beating up OC, and I think that was what you call it. I wonder if that was right. I think that was Roderick Strong.
Yeah, Roger Strong. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're beating him up, and they're going on and on about how because here comes and I guess I'm not sure what we're doing with Gabe Kidd, where it's like 1 minute he's there, 1 minute he's not, but he comes back and he's like, "What are y'all gonna learn? Once if you go against one of us, you go against all of us." And it's like, and Barcelona's like, and we're coming for everyone. We're gonna bite every person's head off. It's like this was an over exaggeration of losing a match. That's what I think this is. Like y'all lost. It
Uh,
wasn't even like it wasn't like you even got pinned, right? Like y'all didn't even get pinned. So this was a lot for losing a match on Collision. I'm just saying, but. But again, if this leads to some instancy of actually turning their luck around and them actually winning matches, I'm all here for it. Hopefully, I don't see that. I don't see that, but I'm still hopeful. Your thoughts on this segment?
it's fine. I mean, I agree with you. It's a little much for losing a match on Collision, but the dogs have been losing a lot overall, and not been presented. They've been presented as strong and tough, but not winning, right? So like, it's very interesting. So I could see how they're frustrated. They should be frustrated. They're a quality team. They're great wrestlers. They should be frustrated by not getting the win. So that frustration makes sense. I'm ultimately here for all this. I'm curious to see where all this goes. I'm a huge David Finlay fan. I really like Clark Connors. I love Gabe Kidd. Driller Maloney is what he is. We'll see. But so I'm here for all this. I mean, I'm very excited to see what the dogs ultimately do and how it ends up playing out with AEW and all this stuff. So I thought this was fine. I do agree it might have been a little much, but considering their history since they've been here, it feels kind of par for the course. So.
Yeah, that's true. All right. And so next we have a backstage segment with Lixie Nair and our AEW World Heavyweight Champion Tekla and sure. And so all Lixie asked was how did Tekla think about Jamie Hayter being her opponent and she being a former AEW World Champion. And Tekla again talking about over what's the word? Over being over. What's the word? Dang it! I know the word. Yeah, give it. There we go. An overreaction to a question. She said, yeah, Lexi Nair, and I hear one more time that Jamie Hayter used to be AEW Women's World Heavyweight Champion. I'm gonna take you to a nice seafood dinner that will take you to the strip club, drag you on the stage, and break all of your fingers to everyone. I'm like, how do you drag someone?
What?
She said, I'm gonna take Lexi. She said, I'm gonna take Lexi there for a nice seafood dinner, take you to the strip club, drag you on stage, and break every one of your fingers. How do you drag someone with a pole? I don't understand. What is wrong with this lady? And she's like, Jamie Hayter, the only reason why you got your hands on this title because I wasn't here, and you were the first one I attacked when I got here, but you kept coming back. But please let it be known that during Dynasty, everything will basically was her. Oh, wait, let me get it right. I'm like, how do you like? You were, but I'm going to deal with you once and for all. And it's just like, where did they get this lady from? What? How did your mind go from left to right, where you're threatening someone, and then you get into a serious promo that was actually good, where we went to Jamie Hayter, and so she's like, "I'm done playing games, and after Dynasty, you're gonna be one of the dumbest." And if that's her tagline, I'm not even gonna say I don't. I can't say I hate it because when she told Thunder Rosa that. It was hilarious. You got me one of the dumbest bitches alive. And so if that's her tagline with all her opponents, I'm like, sure, okay, fine, let's go. Again, I do have issues with this is your AW World Champion, Women's World Champion, and we're doing this segment to promote her match backstage. We're just like, we can't get one in ring segment, and then like the one hater was backstage. This is like, oh, so I see how much y'all think this match is worth. Even though Jamie Hayter and Tekla was probably going to be one of the best matches on the card, but it is what it is. I will enjoy the match once I finally see it. But your thoughts on this promo?
Yeah, I mean, I guess mentioning that she's the world champion justifies the threats that Tekla laid to Lexi there, but those were a little extreme. I'm not sure what the whole dragging her to a strip club and up on stage. Why can't you just break her fingers where you're at? Like, why do I have to get all crazy? Like,
why not do a strip club too?
Okay, then. The whole thing was a little odd, but yeah, I mean, obviously this feud has been going on for a while, Tekla and Hayter. I'm here for it finally coming to an ultimate head, I guess, or resolution at Dynasty. I don't know whether I think that Hayter. I'm trying to gauge what percentage I give Hayter of winning. I mean, in my head, it feels kind of maybe close to 50-50. I feel like Tekla might have a little bit slight edge, 55-45 or 60-40. But it feels pretty up in the air. I'm not totally sure who's going to win this. The only reason I think that Tekla might win and retain is that she hasn't had the belt that long and hasn't had a ton of matches with it. That being said, Tony Khan doesn't mind switching belts without a lot of activity, i.e. Tommaso Ciampa had it for a half a day. I know it's not the same belt, but had a belt for like a half a day. So, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all to see Jamie Hayter get the win here. But Tech was a good talker, and this promo was fine. The thing with Lexi there was a little odd, but Tech was fine. The dumbest bitch alive is fine. The dumbest dead bitch or dumbest bitch dead, the very closing line that Hayter will be, that's what she said. She said Hayter will be the dumbest bitch dead after Dynamite. She
was whispering the last part. I didn't know that was the last thing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I didn't think it hit the way she hoped it would. So I didn't, don't get me wrong. She speaks fine, but I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if English isn't her first language. And there still seems to be there's moments here and there where you can tell that like she still seems to be getting comfortable with the English language at times. And I think that the way she delivered that final sentence kind of still solidified that a little bit, that she's still getting used to the English language completely. So, but I thought it was fine for what it was. I like Tekla and I'm looking forward to this match. So. But yes, you're right. Listen, we've had how many in-ring segments between MJF and Kenny Omega, and we can't get one between Tekla and Jamie? Like, come on, man.
Like, it is what it is. So next up, we get Copeland and Christian out to talk about their match with FTR. And side note, if you have not seen, so Edge comes out, you think you know him, bop, 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 bop. And then Christian comes out. If you haven't seen the Titan chart for him, and like so when he was with the patriarchy, it said courage, loyalty, father, right? And so now he's with Copeland, it says courage, loyalty, a-hole. It's like, I don't like you at all. I just don't. All right, and so they get to the ring, and Adam Copeland took him about his history with FTR and what they said about them being in. They're trying to be his. Them thinking that he was trying to make them to the shadow, and he's like, I'm done shrinking. I'm tired. I'm not gonna try to shrink down to the level because you can't grow into where I'm at in my career. And this is like, oh, we just throwing jabs, huh? Like that was like that was we're in a rivalry, so I understand. But it's just like, oh, dang, you didn't have to say it like that, though. And so he's like, yeah, it's like we're done with this, and it's all in a AEW Dynasty when we become your new tag team champions. And so he gives the mic to cut to Christian, and he's like, and everyone knows that I'm the perfect father figure. So to prove to, to make sure that I do my due diligence, I paid a visit to both your mothers. What? And in my mind, I'm like, hold up, wait. You already said that one of their dads is dead, so you can't say that again. But Christian is a constant professional. He's like, but to make sure that they both know that I am a perfect father, I both banged them. I'm like, what the freak, Christian? What the freak? Why do you like this? What is wrong with you? And that brings out FTR. Well, more so, Stokely Hathaway and Rapunzel Vice does a there was a hit and run, but actually, what's called back stick attack, and it does make sense because they were the main people that they hurt because when they were trying to send the message to FTR, they did hit them with a chair. So I can't say that they're wrong in this, but still 4-on-2 is wrong. That's the part. If you want to come in and beat them up, that's your purpose. But 4-on-2, that's when we get to heel territory. You could have done this by yourselves. But again, like I said, they try to fight out of it, but again, it's 4-on-2, and so so a bunch of chair shots to the head on the out. Well, yeah, chair shot to the head on Adam Copeland. Christian runs into one of the tag team titles in the ring. Not sure why they did this, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. They held Christian up, and Stokely does a spear. Sure. And then they set Christian up, and this is when and they put Christian's arm through one of the chairs. And I believe it's Cash that goes up top to stomp on the chair. But before they do, because Stokely, he steals Christian's watch before they stomp on the chair, and they do it. Now, low-key, I think they said behind the scenes, hey, bro, when we do this, I don't need my watch I don't need my watch matched up. You take my watch off before you do this. I think in my heart, I think that's what he said. Like, listen, if if my watch gets jacked up, I'm jacking someone up in real life. But yeah, so this FTR gets the one up on Copeland and Christian. I still think this card is really good. 'Cause I don't know who wins what. There's no definitive. Oh, I know this person's winning. If I had to put money on it, I would say that I believe in my heart that Tekla is going to beat Hater. Besides that one, all of these are truly up in the air, and I don't know who wins what. But your thoughts on this whole segment?
I thought it was good. I mean, Christian is always in his bag. I'm always happy to see Christian. I'm Metza on Copeland. He is what he is. And I love FTR. Stokely's great. The help of Roppongi Vice because they did get taken out by FTR or by Christian and Copeland makes sense. I was here for all this. I mean, we'll see what happens now that they've, smashed Christian's arm and what that looks like. But I agree with you. I think it's pretty up in the air as far as who wins. And we'll see how healthy Christian even is, right? So the Stokely Spear was great. A lot of this stuff was a lot of fun. I enjoyed all of this. Stokely taking the watch, classic Stokely. I didn't have a problem with any of this. I think it works well to hype up the match. I think it worked good. Well, I think doing this to Christian's arm makes it, questionable as to what he's going to be like at Dynasty and what that's going to look like for the match and all those things. I wonder if it isn't an effort to try to. I see it doesn't make sense. Like I was going to say to try to extend it out or push this out a little bit for this feud longer. You know what I mean? Oh, Christian's injured, so he wasn't 100%. That's why they lose at Dynasty, and then they get another match. But you can do that either way. Like, you don't have to have him injured to do that per se. Like, you could have them have multiple matches no matter what. So I don't know that necessarily works that way. I guess it's kind of a built-in excuse for Edge and Christian to take the loss. You know, Christian was hurt, whatever the case may be, if they're not ready to put the belts on them at the moment. But ultimately, I can't imagine that Tony Khan, I mean, he's missed the boat a bunch of times already in the 5 years they've been together, 6 years AEW's been around, but missing the boat on putting the belts on Edge and Christian one more time, I can't imagine he's going to miss that. So whether it's at Dynasty or not, I imagine that's going to happen at some point. It's just a matter of time. So
most definitely. All right, and now it's time for the main event match, where it is Death Riders versus the United Empire. Now, take it. I didn't know. Listen, so when they announced this, I didn't see. I'm like, I came in from church, so I didn't see the beginning. So I heard, oh, you got the Empire. Oh yeah, I'm like, who are these fools? I'm like, I didn't see Osprey. So I'm like, this ain't Osprey. So I don't know. So what do you call it? United Empire. I don't know none of y'all. Then Osprey comes in last. I'm like, oh, where's your rope though? It was so many conflicting because I'm like, if you're gonna be United Empire, you need to wear the robe. That's just me. That's when I first loved. That's when I first fell in love with Osprey. It was on Rampage and United Empire in 3-way tag, and it's just like, oh, that's Osprey. And so, but nevertheless, they come out, and I'm like, okay, I guess it's a new United Empire. Y'all gotta tell me something. When y'all change people's stuff, I don't know who. I'm with you, like, I don't know who to follow. You have to be better at telling me what's what. But nevertheless, this match was great. I'm not sure if it was a tornado tag per chance, because like no one was really tagging, but it wasn't as crazy as it usually is. I'm gonna say no DQ because they're gonna put the table all over the place, and I do love when Death Riders get charged up with each other. I say that because what's his name? Claudio put someone through a table, and you saw Dave Garcia and Moxley get all hyped up, like, yeah. I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all, why y'all like violence so much? But that was great. Ending situation. You have Moxley and what's his name? Moxley and Osprey in the ring, just doing that whole bulldog face to face stare down. And Osprey hitting blades, Moxley through a table. Osprey covers Moxley. 1, 2, 3. Osprey pins Moxley. I say all of the last part deliberately because we all know the trope. We all know the curse. Whoever gets pinned during the go home show doesn't win during the pay-per-view. So I was very much so like, no! Oh my God, why would y'all do that? Everyone in this match, it's literally 8 people. You had to have Moxley, you had to have Osprey pin Moxley directly. I'll be highly surprised if Osprey beats Moxley down. I don't know. But because that happened, if I had to bet money, I'm betting on Moxley because everyone knows that you don't pin the person you're facing before the match. It's just you just don't do it. Besides, this was a very great match. It was very, very great. It was very, very high octane. I still want a video package of this new United Empire. This was a very good introduction. And all in all, it was good. Your thoughts on the match?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a solid match. Again, with all these people, it's hard to follow everything that's happening. And this kind of, they didn't say it, like you said, they didn't say it was a tornado match, but there wasn't a lot of tags. There was a lot of chaos, a lot of just everyone kind of going at it. They call on AEW's on allelitewrestling.com. And the results, they're calling this match Chaos in Canada. So I'm assuming that implies some sort of anarchy in the arena, stadium stampede type of concept where it's kind of an all-out war, no disqualification, street fight type situation, which is what it had to feel to it too. And then, I enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. I loved seeing Moxley get hidden bladed through the table for the victory.
That was crazy.
I thought that was solid. There was a lot of great spots in this match. I thought they did a really, really good job of making Aaron Henare look very, very strong and very, very formidable. Claudio hit him with what must have been like 6 big European uppercuts, and he stood there and held his ground. I thought him and Claudio, their little matchup was great. I thought all these people looked really good. I thought Callum Newman looked really good. I liked the fact that the new kind of not invading group, they're not invading, but the group that's kind of new on the scene that's helping Ospreay gets the win here, right? You want them to come in and look strong enough to make it feel like they're a real challenge for the Death Riders. And so them getting the win does that. And I thought that they did that. I thought that you got to see what looked like a lot of real good matchups. You get Alex Windsor versus Marina Shafir, which I think is solid. You get Claudio and Henare, which is really good. You get Callum Newman versus kind of the Pac wasn't there for this situation, but the Daniel Garcias and the Wheeler Yutas, those kind of things. So I think it all works out very, very well. I like it. I'm here for it. I thought the match was a lot of fun, and I'm very glad that Ospreay got the win.
Side note, I feel bad for Daniel Garcia. That tail does not want to break. I'm like, hey, it's not breaking. Don't you let him be no more. This is not a Shane versus Kurt Angle situation. It ain't breaking. It's over. I'm fine. It don't have to break with me. But do you believe in my trope that because Ospreay won that he's gonna lose that dynasty?
I sure hope not. I mean, here's the thing. Like I said earlier when we were talking about Collision, Moxley's had some sort of a title for a long time now, and it's been a while since Ospreay's had a belt. He's been gone. I think that it would benefit from putting the belt on Ospreay. I do understand what you're saying, and I do think there tends to be that kind of trope or curse. They do that a lot, so I'm not sure that fares great for Ospreay. At the same time, Tony Khan likes to do stuff a little bit differently and tries to switch things up, so it wouldn't surprise me if Ospreay does get the winner. I still think it's very 50-50, even though Ospreay did get the pin on Moxley in this situation, and despite the curse, I do think it's still 50-50, pretty close to 50-50. Wouldn't surprise me either way. Me personally, I really hope that Ospreay gets a win, mostly just because as much as I love John Moxley, there's a part of me that just, I don't know, like, I don't want to say I'm tired of him because you can't get tired. I'm not tired of him. When someone is so good for so long, right, you get to that point where you start to wish for them to fall off a little bit. And he had that kind of spiral for a minute where he lost the world title and lost a couple matches, but then he got the other belt and it was like, okay, it's, now we're back. It was a very short, small spiral, right? And so there's something about seeing people knocked off their pedestal, right? And even though I love Moxley, I feel like it's time for him to be knocked down a few pegs. So I'm here for Will Ospreay to take that belt and to beat Moxley at Dynasty. That's what my heart wants. I don't know what I think it's about 50-50. So
nope, I totally get it. All right, and so now we have the Kenny Omega video package of his whole video career, and he like you said earlier, this was way longer than MJF. The first picture of Kenny Omega wrestling with the curly hair, I'm like, you didn't have to do that to that boy. You didn't have to do that. Picture is too young. You did not have to do that to Kenny Omega. But they went through the whole bath of him being in New Japan, taking over the Bullet Club, becoming the cleaner, coming to AEW, finally winning all of these championships, and finally coming back. And will he finally defeat basically full strong. We finally take back the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Do you have any thoughts on the video package?
The video package was fine. Again, like you said, if they did the MJF video package so that they could do this and not feel like you do one without the other, that's fine. This was needed. I liked this. Like I said, there's a whole lot more about Kenny that people don't know than they don't know about MJF, I think. So I think this was really needed. I thought this was good. Everything I didn't necessarily like about the MJF package, or the feeling that it was kind of unnecessary, I have the opposite feeling about this. I think this was very necessary. I thought it came off well, and I enjoyed it a lot. So.
And then we get the in-ring segment of I guess they said it was just listening to to King Omega live, but it's basically it's a promo. I'm like, you gotta reverse it. King Omega comes out, nice and set it up, and talks about his match with MJF and how MJF keeps bringing up the diverticulitis. He's like, oh, fine, yes, I had a tummy ache, but that's because all you could do is talk, MJF. All you can do is talk while I recreate wrestling in my image. And that's what a wrestling god does. The reason why you only talk is because you can't do what I do in this ring. And it's all on me to break the cycle and become your AEW champion once more and rewrite this legacy. And here comes MJF. I feel like what? So what's the point of saying calling it Kenny Omega here Kenny Omega live? Like he was the only one up in here. And so yeah, so MJF comes in and basically he's like, I can't wait. And basically, I'm going to beat you in front of all of your countrymen to prove that I am the best wrestler alive. And and then we get to the whole when your God falls and the devil stands on the mountain. And I'm like, listen, hey. Everyone has everyone has their own religion, but I'm about to back out. I don't approve this. I am not approving this of this promo. And you will not fall to the devil. That's what he said. That's what he said. I don't approve none of this. Like, so he says all that. I have to repeat it. And so Kenny was like, you know what? And so this part was pretty cool. Well, he's like, Kenny Omega was like, Kenny Omega was like, you know what? All the times that we talk, MJF, it shows me something about you more and more. In this time, it shows me that you really care about that title. You care about the respect that it deserves and the legacy it breeds. So, with that, you'll care about the legacy of shaking my hand before the match. And Kenny and MJF was just, the look of, well, I do. Oh, I think he's what's the word? The wheels are turning of is it a double cross? What was Kenny's actual intentions of doing this? But he's MJF. Of course, he's not going to do it. So he goes to hit Kenny, and Kenny what you call it? He sidesteps and hits and lays out MJF. And so it's like, sir, this is when the vets come to play. Why would you think you could do this and not what you call it, and not get hit and not get laid out? And so Kenny was like, see, I know you better than your own self. So he's like, so he takes the ring off of MJF, which I like. It's like, and so I bid you adieu, mwah, and goodbye, bang. So you give him back the ring. Why would you give him back the ring for him to use on you a dynasty? That didn't make no dang sense. You should have just kept the ring. So he didn't have to use it. We know MJF's going to use it in the match. So I didn't like that part. But that's the end of the segment. That was the end of Dynasty. The segment was fine. It was a lot of talking. And King did better than his first promo against MJF. But he is not a talker. He's just not. And I would have rather had for the go home show, can you do a match and maybe do like 5 minutes of talking, then do this whole like it's so like since finally announcing of him facing MJF, I don't think Kenny wrestled at all for the past 3 weeks, and that's just not his standpoint. Not saying he's a bad talker, but I am saying that if we're going to promote a match, we should promote it to the best of our abilities, and that is Kenny in a match, in my opinion. But that was the end. This Dynamite overall was fine. I have to put in that this was the go home show of Dynamite. I love like it did give me hype for Kenny versus them. It gave me hype for Osprey versus Moxley. I am hyped for FTR versus Cope and Christian. Those are it though. Like yeah, we could have done something. We could have had one more good segment where it's like, yes, go home segment. I can't wait to watch Dynasty. I was gonna buy it, but now I'm gonna buy it. I don't think we had that. Oh shoot! I can't wait to watch it moment in this show. So for that, I'm gonna give it a solid B. A solid B for me. Your thoughts on the segment, the go home segment with Kenny and MJF, and your grade on Dynamite.
I thought this was a tale of two shows because I thought that it was very up and down at points.
Yeah.
Like there was A+ stuff. I thought which you missed, the opening stuff and the arrival of United Empire and even their main event match. I thought was essentially A+ work for the most part. Them coming in the way they did that, I thought that was A+. Then you have the stuff with Jericho, which is F, unfortunately, and then you've got this. First of all, the main event segment of a show should never just be talking, in my opinion. I don't like that at all. So put this segment before the final match, before the United Empire Death Riders match. Let that be the final match. Put the segment before that. And you're right. I mean, I understand that MJF may be a better talker than he is a wrestler, which is saying a lot because he's a phenomenal wrestler. But not everybody is MJF, and that's not to take anything away from Kenny Omega or even other guys that he's wrestled, the Brody Kings, those guys, but not everybody's MJF, and not everybody can just get up there and do 20 minutes and make it, appealing and sound good and all that stuff for that time. And honestly, I get tired of the in-ring MJF segments. I feel like MJF talks and talks and talks and talks and talks and talks, and that's all he does. Like he wrestles, but I would say, if you look at his career, 75 to 80% of his career is done on the microphone, and 25 to 30% is done in the ring, right? Or 20 to 25% is actually done in the ring as far as wrestling goes. So, and I get it, he's a really good talker, but it's a lot of talking, and this was a long segment. The only redeeming quality of this segment for me was that Kenny actually punched him in the mouth. I mean, more often than not, these situations end up where there's no interaction and they just walk away, and it's like, that was very interesting. At least we had some contact here. At least we had Kenny, doing something, physical. So yeah, I didn't like this, especially not for the main event segment. And as a go-home show, I thought it was okay, but it wasn't great. This would have been a much better go-home show if the match of Dynasty was going to be United Empire versus Death Riders in some sort of format. These guys having this run, and I mean, it hypes up Moxley versus Osprey, and Osprey getting the pin over Moxley hypes it up a little bit. But this is really more about kind of the team situation than it was about the two of them. So, directly hyping up that match, yes, it does, but not as much as it would if it was just the two of them having some sort of, major interaction. I mean, that being said, obviously Moxley's never alone, right? And so Osprey has to have his guys with them. So I don't think you can avoid that. But, it's fine. Tekla versus Hayter should have gotten way more push as far as leading into this match at Dynasty. They could have had they should have each had a match or something, or an in-ring segment, as opposed to just what they had. So that was disappointing. For me, I think this is like a C considering it's a go-home show, considering the Jericho stuff, considering the talking for the main event, I think this was a C for me. I think this was, for me, it was a little below Collision, and I didn't think Collision was all that great. So I'm giving it a C. So now we need a tiebreaker.
No, do we?
Well, didn't we both give Collision a B minus?
Yes, but you gave Dynamite a C, and I gave Collision a B.
Oh, okay. I thought you gave it a B minus. So
No, I gave Dynamite a standard B, and I gave Collision a B minus.
And D is in dog.
B.
B is in boy for Dynamite.
Yes,
B is in boy.
So Dynamite has a standard B, and Collision has a B minus. You gave Dynamite a C,
and Collision a B minus.
Anyone who does math.
Right? Because we both gave Collision the same score, and you have Dynamite beating Collision, and I have Collision beating Dynamite. So,
but okay, there we go. But I have Dynamite beating Collision by half a digit, 0.5. You have them beating it by 1. So,
okay,
yes, Dynamite wins.
Okay, all right, I'll give that to you.
Okay.
This week's winner is AEW Dynamite.
Collision.
Collision. I'm sorry, Collision.
Yeah.
Is Collision from April 2nd, not Dynamite. Collision gets a surprise win, although Collision's gotten several wins recently. They've gotten more wins in 2026 than I think they got in 2025 already so far. So,
crazy.
That being said, Collision is on the rise, I think, although I did think with a couple squash matches, this was a little bit down for this week's episode of Collision, but I did like it better than Dynamite. So that being said, let's do some housekeeping and get up out of here. Make sure and join us on Tuesday nights for the cookout, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern, where we come together and talk about what's cooking up in the world of professional wrestling. Come for the wrestling and stay for the chaos. Let's see, where is it? That's not the right one. Here it is. Sorry. Friday nights, you can join Anika while she watches SmackDown live. She'll give you her real-time reactions and opinions to the show. Sometimes Sammy joins her, although it's been a minute. At some point, he'll come off the injured list, and I assume be back. But that starts at 5 p.m. on Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, when SmackDown starts. So make sure and join her Friday nights for that. And then Saturday mornings for Winner's Circle, as you're here with us now, where we review AEW Collision and AEW Dynamite. Grade each show and declare a winner. This week's winner was Collision, just by a hair, in a slight upset. Since it was the go-home show for Dynamite, we'll call it an upset.
Yeah.
If you want to check us out on social media, you can find us on all these platforms. Come check us out. Love to interact with you. If you scan this QR code, the QR code will get you to Linktree, and from Linktree you can get to all of our social media from one location, but you're more than welcome to just go to any of these social media places and check us out. We'd love to interact with you. You're the best part of Workhorse Wrestling Network, so please come over and let us know what you guys got going on, or interact with us in any way you want to. Last but not least, you can get the audio version of the Cookout podcast. Our wonderful producer, Dolores, downloads the audio version and then uploads it to these podcast platforms. And then you can listen to the audio version when you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, when you don't have time to sit and watch us, or when you've already sat and watched us and still want to listen to it again. So I think that covers all the housekeeping stuff. Unless you've got anything else to say to the people, we can cut out these lights and let them get on with their Saturday. Enjoy. I don't know. I don't want to say anything about us, but Dynasty is tomorrow, so make sure and tune in and watch Dynasty if you're going to watch it. Should be a solid pay-per-view. And if for some reason we decide to do a watch along, if we can pull that together, we'll let you know. We'll put up a notification early enough in the day that you'll know tomorrow if we're going to be doing something. So without further ado, we'll cut those lights. And until next time, peace.
Bye.
the bell, that's the call. Win a circle standing tall.